let's take a look at the Impact dashboard. Now, when you first log into Impact, this is the home screen that you're presented with. All right, so let's go through everything on this dashboard just by the numbers of what exactly they're for. So first one on there is My Schedule. Now that one's kind of self-explanatory. That's where your schedule is. Anything that you schedule, whether it be appointments, callbacks, so on and so forth, from now until the end of time, those are all going to be listed for you in your schedule. You'll get a little number on the right-hand side of it that's going to show you exactly how many appointments you have scheduled from now into the future. But when you click on it, it'll give you a day-by-day breakdown of exactly when those appointments are, on what day, and more specifically what type of appointments they are. For example, if it's a callback, like you're trying to reach out to somebody you don't want to forget, or if it's an appointment where you're actually going to sit and present with them. Below that, you'll see View by Team. You can ignore this completely. This is only for managers. Below that, it says My Lead. Now, My Leads, basically all the leads that you get, whether they're leads that are assigned to you from the agency, or they're your own referrals that you've collected. Those are all going to be organized in that My Lead tab into subcategories. And we'll go through that in the future so you can see how that breaks down, but it makes it a little bit more organized. Underneath that is Policy Search. Now, Policy Search, that's for looking up something for a policyholder. If you need to look up a summary of their policy and their coverage. You can look it up 3 ways. Number 1, with the policy number. Number 2, their phone number. Or number 3, with their last name and zip code. Now below that, you'll see My Report. Most of the reports that you're going to need as an agent or a producer are actually loaded into your Impact for you already. Now, I'll tell you ahead of time, they can be a little bit confusing to understand, so don't worry too much about that. You're going to learn that in the future, and your managers are always going to be there to help support you and understand that. Below that, you'll see where it says Enter Today's Production. Now, the number one thing you're going to use this for, and write this down, is tracking your call numbers. All right, if you remember, your goal is to make 150 dials per day. So that keeps track of the number of calls that you've made as like a live counter, so you don't have to do it yourself. It also keeps track of the number of appointments that you've booked, the number of people that you've spoken to, so on and so forth. So it actually generates a lot of ratios for you, and that helps us as managers to coach you better and do better in the future. So make sure that your numbers are accurate there. Finally, you'll also see how many appointments that you've presented to, number of sales that you've made versus appointments that you've presented to, so on and so forth. All of that's in there. So get familiar with that and know what it is. And then the last thing you'll see there, it says search by phone, last 4 digits. That's specifically to look up leads. Now, let's say that you were making calls and you walk away from your phone for a few minutes just to get a glass of water, and you come back and you notice you have a missed call. Well, you can take those 4 digits that are on the end of that phone number and look them up right here. And what Impact's going to do is it'll spit out any lead that has those last 4 digits. Most of the time, you're only going to get 1, maybe 2 results. And you can just call that person right back. The best part of that is that they have their phone. Maybe they weren't there when you called them, but now they have it in their hand. Call them right back. All right. I'll see you in the next one when we go over how to navigate the lead database.